There you are again, stumbling over the same stone. Don't tell me this is just a coincidence. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why you keep repeating the same mistakes? Is it because you don't learn? Or because you don't want to learn? The truth may hurt, but it's necessary. The problem isn't the world, the circumstances, or fate. The problem is within you, in the automatic patterns you follow without questioning. The Stoics made this very clear. If you don't look inward and take responsibility for your choices, you'll remain trapped in the same vicious cycle. So, stop making excuses, stop blaming external factors, and start facing the real obstacle, your own decisions. After all, how many more times do you need to stumble before you realize that the problem isn't the stone in your path, but the way you walk? Stay with me until the end of this video, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to help you break free from this situation. Now, I want to share a story that will help you understand this lesson better. And at the end of this video, I'll reveal a key insight that can transform the way you view your mistakes. In a small fishing village, there lived Joachim, a talented young carpenter. His furniture was beautiful and sturdy, but he had one major flaw. He refused to take advice. One day, a wealthy merchant commissioned him to build a boat strong enough to withstand the open sea. Joachim, confident in his abilities, accepted the challenge and worked tirelessly. He ignored the advice of experienced fishermen who warned him about the necessary reinforcements for the hull. "I know what I'm doing," he said. When the boat was finished, it looked flawless. However, when it faced a storm, the hull gave in and the vessel was destroyed. Fortunately, everyone on board was rescued, but the loss was immense. The furious merchant demanded an explanation. Ashamed, Joachim finally decided to listen to the fishermen. They showed him that he had overlooked the water pressure and the need for a special wood treatment. This time, Joachim applied what he had learned and built a reinforced boat. Months later, the merchant returned to test it. The vessel bravely withstood the journey, and upon returning, Joachim admitted, "I'm not perfect, but I've learned that listening can save more than just a boat." His humility was rewarded. The merchant not only paid him for his work, but also gave him glowing recommendations. The lesson? Pride blinds you, while learning makes you stronger. Now think, how many times have you fallen into the same mistake? You try to fix a problem, believe you're on the right track, and in the end, you find yourself back where you started. It's frustrating, isn't it? It's easy to believe that the problem lies in the external world, other people, circumstances, bad luck. But the reality is different. The biggest obstacle is within you. Imagine walking through a dark forest and constantly tripping over the same route. Why does this happen? Because you're not paying attention to the path. You're focused only on the pain of falling instead of learning from it. The Stoics teach us that repeating mistakes isn't bad luck. It's a lack of awareness. If you don't reflect on your actions, you'll keep falling into the same traps. The key is to stop, analyze your decisions, and identify the hidden patterns that make you repeat the same mistakes. Your brain is wired to seek comfort and resist change. Even if something isn't working, it keeps repeating the same behaviors because that's what it knows. This phenomenon, called psychological homeostasis, keeps you trapped in harmful cycles. On top of that, there's a mechanism called cognitive justification, where your brain creates excuses to support bad choices. For example, you procrastinate and justify it by saying you work better under pressure, or you stay in a toxic relationship, convincing yourself that it's a learning experience. Your brain is tricking you to avoid the discomfort of change. The Stoics believed that the real enemy isn't what happens to us, but how we react. If you want to change, you need to break this cycle. Next time you make a decision, stop and reflect. Am I choosing this because it's truly the best path, or just because it's the most familiar? Change begins with awareness. Take a moment to analyze your actions and behavior patterns. Only then can you break the cycle of repetition and move forward for real. The comfort zone is a cozy place, but a dangerous one. If you refuse to leave it, you're sabotaging your own growth. The Stoics understood that true evolution happens in difficult moments. It's when we face challenges and force ourselves to change that we truly progress. Many of us live on autopilot, repeating habits without realizing it. Imagine driving a car without paying attention to the road. Sooner or later, you'll get lost. Similarly, living without awareness leads to repetitive decisions and unsatisfying results. Want to change that? Start by paying attention to the small habits of your daily life. Constantly ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to or further from my goals? If the answer isn't positive, change course. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes when we stop being slaves to our impulses. Before making a decision, pause and analyze. Am I repeating this mistake out of habit, or does it actually make sense? Turning mistakes into learning opportunities requires a new perspective. Instead of seeing them as failures, view them as chances for growth. Stop looking for someone to blame and take responsibility. At the end of the day, the key to avoiding the same mistakes lies in reflection and self-awareness. If you want to change, the change starts within you. Next time you stumble, instead of just complaining, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Only then will you stop falling into the same traps and start walking a truly new path. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you in any way, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any content filled with wisdom and learning for your life.